Welcome to the Eggs Invest podcast series, where we explore smart, practical strategies for successful residential property investment across the UK. I'm Anna, your host here at Eggs Invest, and today, we're diving into the step-by-step process of buying property here in the UK and making sure you do it the right way, without missing any critical details. So if you're thinking of buying your first rental property, or maybe even expanding your portfolio, this episode is for you. We'll walk through the actual buying process, talk about what due diligence really looks like, and wrap up with some negotiation tips to help you get a better deal. Let's get started. So, let's begin with the basics. How do you actually buy a property in the UK? At a glance, it might seem straightforward. You find a house, make an offer, and move in. But when you're investing, especially in rental property, there's a bit more to it. Here's a quick rundown of the typical steps. Get your finances in order. Whether you're paying cash or using a mortgage, this comes first. It's important to have a mortgage agreement in principle if you're borrowing. Sellers will take you more seriously. Find a property. You'll be working with estate agents, browsing Rightmove or Zoopla, and maybe even attending auctions. Make sure the area aligns with your strategy, whether it's rental yield, future appreciation, or tenant demand. Make an offer. Once you've found the right place, you'll submit your offer, often through the estate agent. There's usually some back and forth here. Offer accepted, now the real work starts. You'll need a solicitor or conveyancer. They handle all the legal paperwork, title checks, and coordinate with the seller's solicitor. Survey and mortgage finalization. If you're getting a loan, the lender will arrange a valuation. You might also get a full building survey, which is highly recommended. Exchange contracts and pay deposit. Once everything checks out, you exchange contracts and pay a deposit, usually 10% of the purchase price. Completion. This is when the final payment is made and you get the keys. Congratulations, you now own the property. And of course, post-completion, you need to register the property with HM Land Registry and inform your lender and insurance provider. Let's pause here for a moment and talk about legal requirements. This is where many new investors get overwhelmed. You'll need proof of ID and address, mortgage documents, energy performance certificate, EPC, title deeds, and sometimes a leasehold agreement if the property isn't freehold. Also, watch out for things like covenants, restrictions on what you can do with the property, planning permissions, and service charges if it's a flat. A good solicitor will flag these, but it's your responsibility to understand them. Buying property isn't just a transaction, it's a legal commitment, so don't rush through the paperwork. Okay, now let's talk about the part many people skip or skim through, due diligence. Think of due diligence as your pre-purchase investigation. Before you sign anything, you need to know exactly what you're getting into. Here are some smart things to check. Local market data. What's the average rent? Are prices rising or falling? Comparable properties are similar homes in the area sitting on the market or flying off. Property condition, not just what you see, but what might be hidden. Always budget for repairs. Tenant demand. Is this an area where people actually want to live? Look for things like nearby schools, transport links, and job hubs. Legal status check for any ongoing disputes, title issues, or planning restrictions. A good tip: build yourself a simple due diligence checklist. You'll want it every time you review a new property. It keeps things consistent and helps you make more confident decisions. Once you've done your homework, it's time to negotiate. And yes, negotiation is just as important in property as it is in business. Here are a few strategies that work well in the UK market. Know the seller's motivation. Are they looking for a quick sale? Have they already bought another home? This info gives you leverage. Use your research. If other similar properties are going for less, bring those facts to the table. Don't be afraid to justify your offer. Don't show too much excitement. Even if you found your dream rental, keep it cool. The more emotionally attached you seem, the less room you will have to negotiate. Be flexible on timing. Sometimes, offering a faster completion can win you a better price. Always be ready to walk away. There's always another property. If the numbers don't make sense, or the seller isn't budging, let it go. And remember, sometimes you're not negotiating price, but terms like furniture, repairs, or completion dates. So let's tie this together. Investing in residential property in the UK isn't just about finding a good deal. It's about understanding the process, asking the right questions, and making informed, confident decisions. Here's your game plan. Understand how the buying process works. Make sure you've covered your legal bases. Take the time to research and verify. Due diligence isn't optional. Be ready to negotiate smartly, not emotionally. And always think about the long-term performance of the property. Thanks for spending time with me today on the Eggs Invest podcast. I hope this episode helped you feel more confident about buying your next property, or maybe your first one. If you enjoyed today's chat, be sure to subscribe and share this with anyone who's looking to get into UK real estate. And don't forget, smart investing starts with smart planning. I'm Anna, and I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, happy investing and take care.